All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Wahara Kalkadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect that are toiling in this truth. I'm Pathaka Moth GMS Dallas. I'm just coming back at you with a really quick hit lesson, man. Just a prophecy, going into prophecy. You know, of course, Apostle Tahar deemed this word this year and coined this year. The year of prophecy, 2020, the year of prophecy. And man, it's been exactly that, proving the man of the Lord, man. For all those who can't see it, hey, it is what it is, man. But us with the eye salve, that discernment, what I'm saying, who the Lord is dealing with, hey, we can clearly see that Apostle Tahar is a man of the Lord, man. We don't know who that man is, but he's a powerful man, man. You know what I'm saying? And uh, he coined this year the year of prophecy, man. And prophecies have been popping off the pages of the Bible, of the Holy Scriptures, like crazy, man, like popcorn, popcorn, man. You know what I'm saying? Just since the day one, man, all the way up until now, man. You know, just going hard, man. These prophecies are popping, man. You know, and that's what this whole thing is about, man. And I'm gonna get into a really quick hit lesson, just going into the fact that there's a war in heaven coming, man, which is prophecy, man. Because I'm gonna play a video by Dabu 7, and then I'm gonna get into some scriptures, man, because it's all prophecy. So the first thing I want to do is I want to go to Revelations 19, and I'm gonna read verse 10. This is Revelations 19 and 10. And I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, See thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. So this is an angel talking to John. John was going to try to bow to him. He told him not to bow. I'm a fellow brother. So he said, I have the same testimony I hold the same testimony you hold, man. You know what I'm saying? So it says, testimony of Yahweh Shai, worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahweh Shai of the spirit of prophecy. So this thing is all about prophecy. The testimony of Yahweh Shai, whom the world ignorantly refers to as Jesus Christ, is the spirit of prophecy. So you have to deal with the prophecies, man. That's what he's about. You know what I'm saying? And he's given those things to the actual men that he's dealing with. You have a lot of groups out here that don't have that, man. You know what I'm saying? They're claiming, of course they have their Israelites, and they have so much. They've been given what they've been given, but the group that has been given the 100% true doctrine of salvation is the men of the Great Millstone, GMS, beginning starting with Apostle Tahar on down. So Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy. So it's all about the prophecies, man. So now I'm going to get into this video real quick, and then we're going to continue the scriptures. I want you to know you saw with throw a commercial in there.
This is Dabu 7. We have word now that the U.S. Marines have activated a space unit here in terms of trying to battle for the space domain, subspace. They are saying that this Marine Corps Forces Space Command, or the Marines for Space, is a subordinate organization to the U.S. Space Command. It will provide space operational support to the Fleet Marine forces that are working to build convergence capability to increase their warfighting lethality in space. So things are ramping up. We talk about all the things that happen left and right in terms of executive orders and laws and things that they're putting into motion. Let's take a look here at some of the guys leading this. They're saying that Marine Corps General Matthew G. Gravey will be dual-hatted. He will be the commander of this unit, the Marine Corps Space Unit, and the Marine Corps Cyberspace Command. So this guy's going to be heading the Space Unit and the Cyber Command Unit. They're saying the Space Unit will be based out of Offutt Air Force Base in Nebraska, and the Cyber Unit will be headquartered out of Fort Meade in Maryland. So this is the guy that's going to be running this. They have this brand new unit that they've put into motion, and they're just letting it be known. I mean, all these moves are being made. The very next thing is going to be battles taking place in this domain. It's pretty obvious. So when it pops off, all eyes across the globe could look up to the sky and see these battles being waged. And it will really be historic, and it will be a shifting moment here in history where the wars leave the ground here and head up into the heavens above us full scale. I'm not just talking planes dropping bombs on the ground. I'm talking they're in subspace above the planet, blasting each other in particles and all this other stuff. Could just be floating around like space junk does, depending on where they're at. There's a fine line when you get up there. And then when we get into the talk of the bubble, the firmament, and everything else, and what's really happening here, it gets really interesting. And the talk of trying to crack the firmament and all this other stuff. So make sure to join me on DLive as I break this stuff down.
And that's all I really needed, because the point of the lesson is these devils are, it's all prophecy though. These devils have created a U.S. Marine a space unit, man. And of course, like all of that, the space unit, space cadets, space force, whatever you want to call it, man. It's all Bible prophecy. These things were all prophesied. You know what I'm saying? So let's just get into the scriptures because these things are going to come into play, soon, man. Because we're in the times of these things. That's why these things are happening at a rapid rate, man. You know what I'm saying? So let's get right into it. This is Revelation chapter 12 and verse 7, because we were, of course, when we're in the darkness of the churches, they taught us that, the war in heaven was, of course, Satan, which was supposed to be the most beautiful angel, and he, was envious of the Lord, wanted to be like the Lord, and he, him and some other wicked angels, started a war in heaven, and the Lord cast him down to hell and to all BS and nonsense, man. That war in heaven is going to be an actual physical war in the sky. You know what I'm saying? Which is what these devils are preparing for, man. They know, man. It go all the way back to Reagan. You know what I'm saying? With the Star Wars program, will we not in one common cause come together and all that madness, man. You know what I'm saying? Just so it goes back to the Star Wars program during the 80s with Reagan, man. These devils know what time it is. They know that there are no aliens, man, and those are not UFOs, man. They're the chariots of the Lord, and they contain the angels. And they know that Yahushua is returning, whom the world ignorantly refers to as Jesus Christ, is going to return in what they call so-called UFOs, man. So and they're preparing for that, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what now Trump and these different other Edomites are putting together these Marine units and space forces and these cadets and different things. You know what I'm saying? Because the war in heaven has not happened. We're coming into the times of the war of heaven. And they showed you that in that movie Independence Day with Will Smith, man. That's the war in heaven. When they're Air Force and the Air Forces from these different various nations are going to try to come together to fight the Lord, man. So this is Revelation chapter 12 and verse 7, because they know that he's coming back to take them down, man. And they're trying to hold on to their kingdom, man. Revelations 12 and 7, and there was war in heaven, and Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels. And of course, Michael and the angels represents Yahushua and the band of angels, the legion of angels that are going to return with him. And it says that he's going to fight against the dragon and his angels, which is representative of Esau and these other nations' armies, man, coming together to battle, man. The Lord. Verse 8, and prevail not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. So they're going to lose, man. These devils are going to lose, and they're going to lose royally. So them trying to keep their kingdom is going to fail, man, because it says they prevail not, neither was their place found anymore in heaven. They're going to lose their rulership position that they're trying to hold on to, and they're going into slavery for 1,000 years, man. You know what I'm saying? So I want to jump over real quick to Revelations, the 19th chapter. And I'm going to drop down to verse 11 and read down a few verses. Continuing on, this is Revelations 19 and 11. And I saw heaven opened, and behold, a white horse. And that in heaven opening is Yahushua cracking them clouds with the angels, man. And that white horse represents the chariot, that big chariot that he's gonna, that fathership chariot that he's gonna be on. That white represents his the cleanliness, the purity, but it also the white horse represents power, man. Because when those ships come into this realm, they're going to come in, they're going to enter this realm with such power. It's going to freak everybody out, man, because they've never seen anything like that, man. As a matter of fact, Daniel, the 12th chapter, goes into how there's going to be such a time as never seen since there was a nation, man. So the times that we're coming into are going to be epic, man, of biblical proportion, as these people like to refer to it as. It's never been seen. It's never going to be seen again. It's going to be seen one time, never again. And because the implementation of the kingdom of heaven will be at hand, will come into the earth after that. So this is going to be a very, very special events and things and time that we're in, man, and things that are going to be happening, man. So it says, Revelation 19:11, I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war. And that's what that white represents as well, that righteousness. So we know this is talking about Yahushua, man. He that sat upon him is called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doth judge, because he's coming to returning to judge these people, and make war. So there's going to be a war, man. He's coming to bring war with these people. With who? These Edomites, man. And of course, these other nations, they're going to join in. So it's going to be against them too. But primarily these Edomites, the so-called self-proclaimed white man, who's in currently in rulership of the planet Earth, man. They're going to try to fight to keep their rulership, man. So there's going to be a war. He's coming to make war to take his dominion of this place. As a matter of fact, Daniel, the 7th chapter, verse 9 says, I beheld till the thrones were cast down. Those thrones, plural, represent rulerships. All of these various governments, Russia, China, America, North Korea, over there in with the Arabs, all of these different various rulerships, man. He's coming to take them down. Verse 12, Revelation 19:12, his eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. That lines up perfectly with the thrones, plural, in Daniel, the 7th chapter, and verse 9, man. He's coming to take them down and take rulership, these rulerships, take down these governments, man. That's why he wore many crowns, and and those thrones were cast down, On his head were many crowns, and he had a name written that no man knew but himself. Verse 13, and he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of the Most High. So that vesture dipped in blood proved that he ain't all love. Like these Christians want to think that he is, man. This thing ain't all about love, man. Yahushua is angry. Yahweh is angry. The Father is angry. The Son is angry. And there's there's vengeance that has to come and take place. There's things that have to happen, So he ain't all love, man. It says it right there. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood. That vesture is his clothing, man. The apparel that he's going to have on. It's going to be dipped in blood, man. And his name is called the Word of God. So we know this is talking about Yahushua, the Messiah, man. Because he's the Word. John, the 1st chapter, in verse 14, he came and the Word became flesh, man. Verse 14, and the armies which were in heaven, which is the angels, followed him upon white horses. That's that righteousness, that purity, that cleanliness, and that power of the chariots, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. There it is. Verse 15, and out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations, all these nations, man, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. That's in his inheritance in Psalms, the 2nd chapter. And he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and the wrath of the almighty power. So Yahushua is returning to wage war and take these devils down. And that vesture dipped in blood. Let me get that real quick in Isaiah. Let's get the prophecy in Isaiah, the 63rd chapter. This is Isaiah 63:1. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments? There are those dyed garments, but it says he's coming from Edom. Edom, you Edomites, man, who go back to your forefather Esau, you so-called self-proclaimed white people, man, who are the current rulers, you know. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? Basra represents a chief city in Edom, which today is America, man. This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. You know, he's going to be in that power, you know, in that glory, in the chariot, man. You know, he tells you in Isaiah 47, the 47th chapter, that I will not meet thee as a man, man. He's coming back in his glorified state, man. You know what I'm saying? And that speak in righteousness, mighty to save, which that proves that it's the Lord, man. It's Yahweh Shai, it's the Messiah, man. He's the one that can save, man. Verse 2, wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat? I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury. And their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. That's the vesture dipped in blood. But he said he's coming from Edom, you know, and his vesture is going to be dyed in those dyed garments, man, you know. So that blood that's going to be sprinkled on his garments from crushing you people, man, you Edomites, man, you know, he's coming for you Edomites, man, you know, because you're going to wage that war with him, and he's going to jack you up, man, you know, because this devil is the devil, man. He's wicked, man, you know. Verse 4, for the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. So we're in the time of that right now. The redeemed, the elect, man, you know, we're in the time of him bringing that vengeance for them. You know, Lord willing, I can be a part of that. You know, we're in that year. We're in that acceptable year, man. You know what I'm saying? So he coming to straight crush you devils, man, you know, and there's nothing you can do about it, man. As a matter of fact, let's jump over to Isaiah, the 34th chapter real quick. This is Isaiah chapter 34, and where I want to start, where they falling out the sky. This is Isaiah chapter 34, and the point is in verse 5, but I'll get to verse 4. I'll start in verse 4. Isaiah 34 and 4. And all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. That's from those thermonuclear missiles, you know, those nuclear explosions. And all their hosts shall fall down as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig trees. So all your little ground troops, your air troops, everything is going to be taken down. They're going to fall, man. They're going to fall, hit the ground, and your air assault is going to fall and hit the ground. You know, everything is coming out the skies. Everything on the ground is going to lay down, man. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. And that sword is those thermonuclear missiles, but the chariots is going to be getting it in as well, man. You know, it says, behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. That's a Greek term for Edom. You Edomites, man. You red Hebrew Edomites. You can go into, as a matter of fact, Genesis, the 36th chapter and verse 8 makes Esau, Edom, Mount Seir, all them things, all those are synonymous. It makes them all synonymous, which we now know is the so-called self-proclaimed white man. You know, 2 Thessalonians, I believe, the second, is it the second chapter? The second chapter, and verse 3, you know, that man of sin had to be revealed, the son of perdition. Well, he's revealed. So that proves we're in the time of these things happening, man, because the elephant in the room has been identified. We see his big ass and we know who it is, man. You know, excuse my French, Salakia. It says, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, Edom, you so-called self-proclaimed white people, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. You know, and who is that, man? As a matter of fact, let's get that real quick in Malachi. This is Malachi chapter 4, Salakia chapter 1 and verse 4. Whereas Edom said, when you read up, it goes into Jacob and Esau. So this is going into Esau. You know, Esau have I hated. Whereas Edom saith, We are impoverished. As a matter of fact, before, let me just, this is on me real quick. Let me just do this real quick. Salakia. And I'll come back. This is Genesis 36, since I quoted it, and 8. Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom. There it is right there. Esau, Mount Seir, Edom, all synonymous. It's all talking about the same people. You Edomites, man. Let's go back to Malachi now. This is Malachi chapter 1 and verse 4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushai of armies, they shall build, but I will throw down. So this place is about to get thrown down. And they shall call them the border of wickedness, because everywhere they go, they set up wickedness, man, and bring wickedness. And the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. That's that curse to judgment, man, which is going to get you destroyed, because when you read, as a matter of fact, I'll get it real quick, righteous anger, that's that indignation. That's going to get you destroyed, which you were set up to be destroyed anyway. This is Romans chapter 9. And let's get to the point in verse 20. I'll start at verse 21. Romans 9 and 21. Have not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? What if the Most High, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction? Which is which vessel? The vessel of dishonor, which when you read up in the 13th verse, Romans 9 and 13, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. That's the same thing that Malachi, the first chapter, says, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why it says as it is written. It's written in Malachi, the first chapter. You know what I'm saying? So Jacob is the vessel of honor, whom he loved, and Esau, whom he hates, is the vessel of dishonor, fitted for wrath and destruction. So you were created to be destroyed, man. And like I said, we're coming into a time of just total chaos, man. It's going to be crazy in the earth. That war is coming. Daniel 12 and 1. And Daniel, the Archangel Michael is going to have to intervene, man. From everything, all the madness and craziness, the war in heaven, the thermonuclear destruction, Jacob's trouble, famines, people fighting and killing each other in the streets, animals running around. It's going to be crazy out here, man. Daniel 12 and 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation. So there's going to be a time of trouble that has never been since the created nation on the planet Earth, man. You've never seen this, and you're only going to see it once, because after this, the implementation of the kingdom of heaven and the earth. It says, even to that same time, and at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book, that's the elect, man. The elect is going to be delivered, man. So I want to go back to Revelation, the 12th chapter real quick, and I'm going to drop down to verse 9. There's Revelations 12 and 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. So that great dragon is representative of course, the Roman Empire, but it represents Esau, man. You Edomites, you so-called self-proclaimed white people, which proves that the old serpent in the garden with Eve was a man. He was the so-called self-proclaimed white man back then, man, which he had color, he had pigment, but and of course after the curse or the mark got put on Cain, and that reincarnated the first actual Caucasian birth came into the earth by way of Esau being born, man. And we've been had that ever since, in the earth. You so-called self-proclaimed white people being born red, coming out the womb red, because your blood is showing forth through your translucent skin, man. You know what I'm saying? It says, and the dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil, which means deceiver, and Satan, which means adversary. This nigga has tricked you, Jakes, and everybody on the earth, and he's deceived, and he's been an adversary to you, Jakes, man. He's adverse to the Lord and the Lord's people, man, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. So y'all are going into slavery, man. That being cast out into the earth is you're finna be taken out your rulership, Esau, and y'all are going into 1,000 years of captivity. You and these other nations that's going to try to fight with you, man. You know, because we're back in the chapter where it's going into the war in heaven. Verse 10, and I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation, because we're in the time of the salvation of the elect, and the 1/3, and strength, and the kingdom of our power, and the power of his anointed. You know, so the kingdom of Yahushua is coming along with the elect, you know, the kingdom of Israel, beginning starting with the elect, and 1/3. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down. You know, that's you Edomites, man. That's what you do. You've set up Jake to go off out here. Everything you do, you know, by way of your rappers, you know, Tupac, you know, with that whole gay agenda, you know, and sagging and going on, and just all these different agendas, you know, by way of your actors and your movie stars, you know, the politicians. Just everything, man. Everything that these devils have done, you know what I'm saying, is all part of his agenda to make you Jakes go off, man. You know, he'll tell you sell pork as the other white meat. You know, Jake, and he teaches Jake in his churches that the laws are done away with, then pushes pork as the other white meat. You know, and Jake goes for it, loves it. You know, pushes adultery on his music scene, in the music industry, and in his movies as well. You know what I'm saying? So all these things, then he'll go to the Lord and say, Lord, look at them. These are your people. This is who you want. But he's the reason, you know, he'll set up churches on every corner in Jake's neighborhood, you know, liquor stores, you know, put drugs and guns. And with that come in the school systems as well, you know, indoctrinating Jake, man, and jacking him up, man. And then put the church building and the liquor stores and the drugs and guns in the same neighborhood with, you know, in his neighborhood, and have them hating each other. What are they going to do? They're going to drink, get high on the crack, and kill each other, man. You know, it's all part. And then he'll point at and go to the Lord and say, look at these degenerates, man. This is who you want. These are the people. These are your people. You know, so that's that accuser, man. You know what I'm saying? For the accuser of our brethren is cast down. So this devil is about to get taken down. It's time, and this nigga need to go, man. Which accused them before our power day and night. And that's what this dude has been doing. Verse 11, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb. And that blood of the blood of the Lamb, Yahushua, man, he didn't die for everybody. He died for the elect, man. You know, that's who his blood is covering, man. And by the word of their testimony, that's this truth, this doctrine we got, man. And they love not their lives unto death. And that's us, man. We don't give a F about this place, man. We could care less, man. You know. So I'll get one more, and then we'll bring this lesson to a close. Hopefully it's edifying. You know. This 2nd Ezra, chapter 13, and I'm going to start at verse 3, because that war in heaven is coming, man. And Yahushua going to kick some tail, man. 2nd Ezra 13 and 3. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And that man is Yahushua, and the thousands of heaven is the angels, man, that's going to return with him, man. And these scriptures are saying that, man. All these verses are saying that, man, you know. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire, man. So all they heard his voice burned, man. That's those laser beams coming out of those chariots, man. You know what I'm saying? That's how the Lord is going to speak. And it's going to go into it, you know. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of the number from the four winds of heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. So that's those nations coming together, you know, Esau heading and leading it. You know what I'm saying? They're going to try to you know, fight the Lord and beat him, man. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. But I would have seen the region or place where out the hill was graven, and I could not. So Esdras was saying that he was in such a big chariot, it looked like it was the size of a mountain, man. But he couldn't find a place of a mountain that it could have came out of. But because it wasn't a mountain, man, it was a chariot, man. You know, and after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, yet durst fight. So they're going to be scared as hell, but the Lord is going to put the spirit on them to fight anyway, man, so he can jack them up, so he can destroy them and burn them up, put them to death, man. The same way he did with Pharaoh back in the ancient, man. You know, he hardened Pharaoh's heart and made Pharaoh a rebel, you know, so he could jack Pharaoh up, man, because he could continue to jack that nigga up, man. You know what I'm saying? Same thing. You're the modern day pharaohs. If you read in Romans the 9th chapter, he likens you to Pharaoh, man. You know? So he gonna make you, they're gonna be afraid, but they're gonna fight anyway. That spirit is gonna get put on them by the Lord. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand nor held sword nor any instrument of war. He's not going to need it, man. He's coming back in his angelic form, in that glorified body, in that power, man. You know, he's going to be in his glorified estate, man. You know, spiritual power. So he ain't gonna need any instruments of war, man. He is an instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests, which is that concentrated beam of light, that concentrated heat, that laser beam, man. Verse 11, and they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight. So it's going to fall on them like with violence, man. You know, they're gonna die horrible deaths, man. You know, trying to fight the Lord. You out your damn mind, man. And burn them up, every one, so that upon a sudden of innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and the smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid, man. You know, so, hey, man, Ezra was given this vision, and it scared him, man. You know, that's how. So it's gonna be crazy out here, man. Ezra is here today. That fear is going to come upon him, upon all of us, man. You know what I'm saying? It's going to get real scary at some point. But, you know, hey, if you're part of the elect, hey, man, you're going to make it through, man. So, hey, that's all I want to, because that war, you know, that war is coming, man. You know, we just saw the video, you know what I'm saying? U.S. Marines activate space unit as race to secure low Earth orbit intensifies. So all of this Space Force, Space Cadets, space units, all this different stuff, it's happening, man, you know, because that war in heaven is coming, man. You know, so, hey, but they gonna lose, man. Esau's kingdom is over. It's through. Prophecy is coming to pass, and he's about to lose. We finna win, brothers. You know, so stay rooted and booted. You know, stay focused. Keep your head up, man, and keep pushing, man. We're almost out of here. We're going home. So with that, hopefully this was edifying to the hopeful elect, giving all praises, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Wahara Kakwadash, double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect, the house of David, the Bayath, Shal Dawadah, Shalom.